What game do you want to enter? Leave that in the comment below. Chapter 1. It all starts when a group of people finds themselves in a place they don't know, without any clue. Starting with introducing them, Mormont Carl, a mercenary, asks if anyone has any idea of where is this place. And Kyle, he ran a woodshop and he seems to not remember anything other than that. Grit works in an antique store, and he also doesn't know why he is here. Jana was living in a remote forest. She also don't have any idea of what was going on. And lastly, a farmer named Han Islat is the same as them. So all 11 of the people present don't know why they are here. Those people keep talking between themselves about if they have been kidnapped by a magician as an experiment. The only thing they know is all of them are from the same kingdom. A weird fairy out of nowhere appeared, telling them a mysterious master is about to open the space-time rift if they need to be ready for a fight. The fairy's name is Isil, and she manages this place, with a threat for everyone to stay in line or get hurt. The mercenary asks her if she is the one that brought them here. The fairy asks him why he wants to know. He takes his sword out of its scabbard while telling her how shameless she is after kidnapping people, giving her a threat that she will spill it all out. With a sigh, she tells him to back off and stop while he is ahead, showing his sword aura to fight her and teach her some manners. With a surprise attack on the neck, Mormont has returned to the embrace of the goddess, and his cause of death is suicide from stress, making it an example for all the remaining people to not cross the line. If they lay a finger on her, the will end up a corpse. It's her self-defense. Everyone seems to panic because of the dead person and asks her to just use words to talk to them. She told them to listen to her orders and fight well. A notification from the master for forming a party. A party of 5 people has been formed. Everyone needs to be ready because the space-time rift is open. Calling the name of the party members to enter the open door. If they don't go, they end up as the other guy. When everyone was silent, someone interrupts her, telling the fairy that she also wants to climb the tower and have the master summon a weapon for them. All the people are just weak 1-star without even a basic weapon. It is like a suicide squad. Jana seems to be confused about what tower means. Han keeps talking to the fairy, stating the fact she killed the only 2-star hero they have. Won't she at least grant them the weapons? The fairy gives the master a suggestion on summoning equipment for a better battle. The master listened to her, and he did give them what they want. But apparently, everyone seems surprised at how Han knows more information about this place. He denied everything and told them he hasn't been in this place long. The only thing he knows for sure is that you can die if you are too slow. It would be best if everyone grabs a weapon to fight, and it's going to start sooner. Everyone seems confused. They asked, "What start?" "What do you mean by that?" He replied, "The battle." Everyone keeps screaming and crying. They don't know anything about fighting. They never fight even as a kid. All of them seem to have chosen their weapons. When they were getting ready to enter the gate, they noticed the corpse had disappeared. 5 people entered the gate, but the hero didn't care about them. He's examining the shield in all this chaos. Jana asked Han if he knew what was going on here, why he chose the weapons, why we are here, and what with the fairy. He said to her, "It seems that you have many questions. All you have to do is go to the battlefield and fight the enemies. Fight all the enemies. As for the rest, you will discover it yourself." A message has appeared from their master, indicating that all the people from the first team have been erased. They are dead. It seemed that the first team had been wiped out, so the first team had lost, and now another team would be formed from the remaining people. Jana found out that, at the moment, the only way to live and stay alive is by following Han. Everyone looks frightened and arranged because they have not fought in their life, and they did not even carry a spear, so of course they will be afraid. But one person among them was not disappointed, afraid, and advanced towards the gate. When entering the gate, it appears on everyone's surprised features. They entered a different place from the previous place, and they notice that there are writings on the wall. These writings indicate that they have entered the first floor of the main dungeon. The door started to open, and Han told them not to lose focus and that it was about to start. When he comes out of the door, they find themselves in the outside world. In fields of crops, they did not believe their eyes. They wonder where they are. Han answered them and said to them, "What do you think we are on the battlefield?" Appeared to them as goblin monsters at the 3rd level. Han tried to advise them that if they did not fight, they would die. Before he finished his speech, he saw that his team had fled, abandoning him. As they try to escape, they crash into an invisible wall. Everyone seems frightened and tidy, and they do not intend to fight except for one person, a girl who stood by our hero in this difficult situation. Janna asked him if they could leave if they beat those goblins. He asked her if she could use a bow. She said that her father taught her. He was a hunter. Han will fight at close range, and she from long distances. The girl was worried about the people who tried to escape in the first place, but the hero told her to forget him and not to care about them, so the monsters screamed at him and started the attack. But the truth for you, which was hidden in disguise, shows that our hero did not hold a sword in his life, even once, or a shield. His name is Han Islat, but his real name is Han Seo-jin. It seems that he came from the real world to the game world full of dangers, and he must find his way out without dying. Chapter 2. Welcome to Pick Me Up. It is a mobile game launched by Mobius Company, limited 2 years ago, and has the subtitle Hyper Roguelike Summoning RPG. Pick Me Up is already a popular game boasting 100 million users worldwide, but I would like to introduce the game once again for those who may not know. The goal of this game is to raid the 100-level tower, supporting heroes by producing materials and building the base camp. You need to clear the tower using tactics and strategy. Just yesterday, our hero was living a normal life. Han was so disappointed because the game didn't have any legit event, so Han was happy that the Advent dungeon will be open soon. First of all, the heroes who are rolling hard at the training center. Most of them are 1 or 2 stars obtained through free draws. Among them, it is said that there is a very low probability that a jackpot exceeding the original 5 stars will be born, but almost all of them end in failure. Even in the world of mobile games, gold spoons and dirt spoons are divided. Hero ranks range from 1 star to a max of 7 star. Han was just an unlucky bastard. He played paid draws thousands of times, but he never saw a 5-star hero. To be honest, there are very few 4 stars, let alone 5 stars. The Book of Reverse Heaven, a key material to becoming a 7-star hero. Other materials were obtained a long time ago. If you only learn the Book of Reversal, which drops with a very low probability in the special Advent dungeon, you can create a 7-star hero that is said to be less than 5 in the world. It is possible to aim for the world number 1 instead of 5th place, and there's no reason not to participate. Pick Me Up is different from other games with character training in the sense that it enforced hardcore rules. No matter how much care or love you put into a character when they died and couldn't be brought back. That means you need to dispatch a disposable party to Advent Dungeon. You never know which boss will come out. What level is it, whether it is a monster type or a human type, and what type of skill it uses. The advanced team will analyze the pattern of the boss and oxidize fiercely. Advent Dungeon opens. Warning! 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 A red message announcing the appearance of a powerful enemy appeared on the screen. As it is an Advent dungeon, I entered the boss battle immediately without any progress. However, as soon as I entered, a message appeared on the right side of the screen informing me of the hero's status change. The disposable party stats decreased by 30%, and every one of the party feels fear. The boss hasn't even appeared yet. Eventually, Diora, the party leader, and the main tank printed out a proposal. The leader of the 38 party, Diora's 6-star hero, suggests retreating. Han just ignored her request, saying he just need to see the boss's patterns. Diora panics. All of her stats are reduced by 50%. No matter how much you throw away words, 5 stars and 6 for a leader. The level was also raised to the limit. Those guys panicked. Panic is a state abnormality that newly summoned heroes only see in their first battle. There is one conclusion. He's a guy with horror abilities. Soon after, the boss appeared with a dynamic sound. The boss's name popped up at the top of the screen. It was a name full of symbols, and the level was 999, leaving Han wondering what this is. Is this a bug? The appearance is even more spectacle. I can understand that it is a small species and even a humanoid, but the entire thing is mosaic processed. All you can see is the minimal form. I couldn't make out the rest. He let out a dejected laugh. What's the level again? 999? This is an obvious system error. I'll live and see all the bugs and pick me up. From right after opening until now, 2 years later, no bugs have been reported except for a few pranks. It was a massacre. Diora died without even trying to resist. Even though he had the battle continuation skill, he didn't even have a moribund state before death. 7 letters of "You lose" float in the center of the screen. Because of the mosaic covering the boss, it was impossible to know which skill to use. It just squirmed closer, leaving only a corpse behind. I couldn't hold on for 10 seconds, and the max level party, including 6 stars, was wiped out. No matter how much I yell at the customer center, they won't fix it. A hero once lost can never be restored for any reason. I just hit the screen and hit it repeatedly. The screen does not jump to the waiting room. "You lose" still floating, with the boss looking at the center of the screen. The power is not turned off. "You lose" still pops up. The boss at the back of the field looked at me through the screen. The part of the boss's mouth that was crushed into a mosaic seemed to be whispering something. "Found you." And consciousness fell. Suddenly Han awoke, and pain that shoots up through his head. It was like the morning after drinking. Our protagonist wakes up with a headache, confused about where he is and how he got there. He finds himself in a white room and receives a prompt to download internal data. As they progress, he discovers they are in a hyper-roguelike summoning RPG simulation game. Hen wanted to believe he is in a dream, but it was a reality where they can control his actions. The room starts taking shape and becomes furnished, and the protagonist decides to explore his surroundings. He finds himself in a plaza with gates leading to different rooms, such as a training center and an arsenal, but they are all locked. The protagonist tries to open the doors but fails, and he wonders what kind of dream he is having. When he opened his eyes again, it was a burning town. In a small village in the Heim region, there was a boy, Han Israt. Flames are rising from all sides. What was burning was a private house. The modestly built houses, hedges, barns, and trees all mingled with the flames and burned fiercely. In his right hand was a worn-out iron sword. Tutorial Quest 1: Defeat the goblins that invaded the village. The battle proceeds automatically. Enjoy high-level battles implemented by the hero's internal AI. In the distance, at the foot of the hill, green-skinned monsters were swarming. He is about 150 centimeters tall. He is holding a curved sword. His back was hunched over, and his green skin was disfigured. Goblin Love. 1. Han was questioning if this is even real, but it didn't take long for him to realize that this was indeed reality. As Han faced the charging goblin, fear gripped him, but he stood his ground and blocked its vicious attack. The goblin's strike was forceful, but Han managed to counter it, and now it was his turn to retaliate. With a swift, powerful slash, he ended the goblin's life, his fear now transformed into fierce determination. But the feeling of killing another living being refused to register in his head. Once again, the sight swung around. When he opened my eyes, he was in familiar scenery. Fatigue had disappeared without a trace. There were no small scars all over his body. His stumbling arose. Instead of fatigue, a feeling of lethargy came over me. It was surprising to find himself truly in the game world. If Pick Me Up was just a game, then it certainly didn't feel like one anymore. Before the master can proceed to the next stage, shall he need to select a teammate? Touch the Summon tab in the menu. First special service. They will give the master 500 gems for one advanced summon, not understanding what the hell is going on. A burst of intense light emanated from the open doorway, potent enough to dazzle anyone. Our protagonist received a notification declaring the appearance of a super rare hero. A female knight was standing on top of it. Han's day was full of surprises as he witnessed the summoning process with his own eyes. It made him wonder if he too was summoned in a similar way. The knight had his eyes closed while wearing fancy plate armor that looked like something out of a movie. The silvery rapier hanging from her waist gleamed in the light. The female knight opened her eyes. The female knight asks our hero about his identity. They introduce themselves. A message appeared containing the master. Would you like to create a party with the summoned heroes? Use the hero box to drag and drop heroes into the party composition slot and customize your own party. A party was created with 2 heroes. One is the main character Han, and the other is the new female knight. The master threw Han and Shay, the female knight, into the dungeon again. Unlike Han, who had never ever held a sword before, the 4-star hero Shay defeated 5 goblins in an instant. The stage was cleared with an overwhelming difference in skill. Since they had a difference of 3 stars, Han didn't complain about it. But the problem was what came next. Master, the heroes did a great job fighting. The last tutorial is waiting for you. How to strengthen your hero synthesis. Open the door, touch the synthesis tab in the menu. Hey, you! He heard a voice that seemed to penetrate directly into his brain. He looked up. A girl the size of a forearm was flying through the air. 2 pairs of dragonfly-like wings fluttered behind the girl in the black dress, making him hurry while saying, "Don't you go in quickly? Master is waiting for you." A girl with black hair and pigtails, round features and cheeks that didn't lose breast meat. He has seen this look before. Isel? The fairy seems to be surprised at how he knows her name. The hero tells her his Korean name, so she searches for it in the list of heroes. She clearly found out that Han Seo-jin is not Han Islot, even though the picture was different, revealing to her that he was born in Seoul and asking her to send him back. When she expressed disbelief, he inquired whether he hailed from Earth. In response, he jested that he came from Mars. Cold sweat broke out on Isel's forehead. Isel began to rummage through the ledger, and she starts screaming, "How the hell did this happen? I'm gonna lose my mind!" Pushing him to just go in for now. He replied, "No way I'll die if I go in." Isel grabbed his wrist and threw him away. He felt like he was floating, and then he flew into the synthetis. And the synthetase starts. A blue flame came from his hand. The synthetase means strengthened by combining 2 heroes together. One of the 2 heroes is used as a sacrifice to increase the stats of the other hero. During that procedure, one of the 2 heroes is guaranteed to be destroyed. The problem is that Han is just a 1-star, and the female knight is a 4-star. A normal player would have no reason to save Han on purpose and kill Shay. Accepting his death, he closes his eyes to be less painful. The synthetase was complete. Han survived, he was chosen, but sadly the knight starts to disappear into light. In her final moment, she leaves her fighting spirit to Han. Now we are back to the present moment. Starting with grit death, Han screamed at Janna to not lose her focus. If she did let her guard down, she'd be dead. Everyone keeps running away without any fight. Han was lucky, and Shay ended up dying due to a stupid mistake by the master. When Han was talking to Janna and giving her some instructions, a hit from behind cut his hand. In a struggling position, he quickly looks back and hits the monster in the face with his shield, making it a vow that he will get the bastard who got him in this situation, the level 999 bug monster who was laughing at him, that he was messing with the wrong guy. The battle is over, but the war has just begun. Janna was worried about his arm. He told her to not worry, he is fine when they return. The player has minimal say during the game's combat. It's because most of the battles are done automatically by the heroes. Even so, it boasted a global player base of 100 million users. The reason is that you could observe this world like a god. Han was also a user who enjoyed pick-me-up, crafting items, strategy, and tactics, and nurturing heroes, and discovering hidden elements. Ranked 5th in the world, Loki, Master of Masters. If you don't subscribe to my channel, the Manhwa police will come after you. Trust me, you don't want to mess with them.